August 30, 2012. This is Justice Done Dirt Cheap in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is video 2 in the same subject, which is Criminal Code of Canada charge of assault and breach of undertaking. Now, in my circumstances, mine are even wilder than some of the stories I've heard from people who've had similar experiences. In my case, someone made an unfounded, untrue, frivolous, and vexatious claim against me that I had assaulted them. They made a statement to the police, and with that statement regarding assault, it was claimed that they were in fear of me. Again, this is frivolous, vexatious, without merit. It's unfounded, and it cannot be true or reasonable. Yet they signed a statement, gave it to the police. I was arrested by the Fredericton Police Force. What happened is I went down to the Fredericton Police Force to serve Constable David Beck a notice of action, a statement of claim for damages against him because he's damaged me. After I served the notice of action, statement of claim, immediately after I was approached by Constable Stephen Cliff, who informed me or made allegations and assertions that he had the powers to arrest me. And I demanded proof of claim, and I said that he didn't. Now, I was filming at the time, so I'll be putting up the film of Stephen Cliff and Constable Beck pulling the camera out of my hands as they arrested me. Now, what's amazing is that after the fact, I looked up the Criminal Code section in the Criminal Code of Canada, and it turns out the Fredericton Police, had no powers of arrest regarding these two matters. The Criminal Code of Canada is clear on that. They could not arrest me for the alleged charges. So they did it anyway, despite having the lawful authority to do so. So I was arrested and held in custody for some hours until released. Now, what ended up happening is I was threatened that I'd be held in remand, and what that means is basically I'd be remanded, which means held in custody in St. John Correctional Institute until the hearing of the matter. I was told I was going to be, could be up to 3 days. I was arrested on a Thursday, or sorry, I was arrested on a Wednesday, and I was told I might not even be able to see a judge till Friday. And I was told I have to sign an undertaking or I'll be held in custody. Now, the undertaking basically says, the first one said, you're not allowed to leave the province, you're not allowed to go to, you're not allowed to have any direct or indirect communication with Neil Rogers or Trina Rogers. And then the third clause was I wasn't allowed to go to the home or place of business of Neil Rogers or Trina Rogers. And the fourth was I had to inform the Fredericton Police Force of any change in address. Now, I said, first of all, None of this is proven. It's only allegations. I'm not signing that undertaking. And I was told, if you don't sign it, they're going to hold you in jail. And the first time it'll be before a judge will be, maybe before Friday. The judge is not going to change any of these conditions. The judge is either going to have you sign it right there, or you go to jail for as many months as it takes until the trial of the matter. So I refused to sign the undertaking. I said I want to see a judge right away. These conditions are unreasonable, and I'm not going to commit myself to something like that. What ended up happening is they've transferred me over to the courthouse. At the courthouse, I was able to speak to duty counsel, who reiterated the same thing, that I would not be seeing a judge for up to 2 days, which I might not even be able to see a judge till Friday, which means I would have been held in jail from Wednesday all the way till Friday until I saw a judge. And the judge was not going to vary any of the conditions of the undertaking. He would just basically, I'd either sign it there, agree to sign it, or go to jail. So I was told I would not see a judge that day. So I said, okay, well, I will sign this under protest and duress, which means that under protest means that I'm not agreeing or consenting to do it. I'm doing it under protest. I don't want to do it, but I'm doing it because I'm in jeopardy. Now, under duress means I'm under threat, and I was under threat. I was being threatened that I'd be held in custody, remanded for up to 2 days before I even see a judge. And if I still didn't sign the undertaking at that point, I'd be held, remanded into custody for months. So I said, okay, well, I need to keep going on this thing, so what I'll do is I'll sign that under protest and duress. So I signed it. Above my signature I put, without prejudice, non-assumpsit, all rights reserved, under protest and duress. Now I'll have to do a video sometime on the meaning of those words, separate from this video, but I did sign it under those conditions, and I was released. Now I'll remind you that the Fredericton Police did not actually have the powers to arrest for those criminal charges. Yet I was arrested and threatened with being held in custody for months. Now what's amazing is I protested the fact that I was told that I had to sign an undertaking and said I was not going to go anywhere near the place of residence or the place of work of either Neil or Trina Rogers. Yet they wouldn't tell me where that was. So how unreasonable is that? How could I sign an undertaking that says I'll not go near their place of residence when I don't know where that is? Now there's a maxim of law that says the law will not compel the impossible, and they aren't compelling me to the impossible in that endeavor. So I, as soon as possible, filed a notice to vary an undertaking, which is a document in the provincial court that basically sets in motion an opportunity for a judge to review the undertaking and decide if it's reasonable or not. Now at the second hearing, actually no, the first hearing regarding the undertaking, I demanded the undertaking be varied. The judge refused to vary most of the conditions of the undertaking, and the one condition that had to be changed, which was how could I agree not to go to the place of residence and place of work of Neil Rogers and Trina Rogers if I don't even know where that is. So after many recesses, the Fredericton Police contacted Neil and Trina Rogers and at the addresses for those places they claim to work and they claim as a residence. Now, alright, so that undertaking I signed again under protest and duress because I claimed there's no need for me to sign this. These are only allegations at this point, and I demand at least evidence to be presented before I have to sign an undertaking. At this point, there's not even any evidence. All there was is a witness statement that's not sworn under oath. And I brought up the fact that, well, these people have not even committed themselves to sworn statements of facts that, if found to be untrue, can be considered perjury. All that they've done is just made these unfounded allegations. And I was told, well, that's the usual process, and they were not going to vary the process for me. And I raised many objections at the hearing. And that was it for the first hearing. Now, the second hearing happened. And what occurred then was I had mistaken what date the hearing was supposed to be held, and I ended up appearing late for the hearing. Now, the series of events is simple. That morning I called in and I said, "How you doing today?" I gave my name and I said, "I believe that there's a hearing scheduled pretty soon, and I'm just calling in to make sure I get the right time and date for that. So could you please inform me of the date and time of that hearing?" I was informed at that time that I had actually missed the hearing by an hour, hour and a half, and I offered immediately. I said, "I can come in immediately and speak to the judge." I was told, "Well, no, come in for the afternoon session." See, court usually starts at 9:30 in the morning for the morning session. The afternoon session starts at 1:30. So no problem, I'll be there for the 1:30 session. When I went in for the 1:30 session, I was there about 10 minutes early, getting my notes together, getting ready, and the Fredericton Police Force promptly arrested me and told me that there was 2 warrants for my arrest, and but they were endorsed warrants. I was not going to be held in custody as long as I signed an undertaking and promised to appear. So, under protest and duress, I signed an undertaking and promised to appear and was given a new court date. Now, the judge could have seen me that day, but they decided, for whatever reason, not to see me, and I was given a new criminal charge of failure to appear. So at this point in time, I had accrued not only a criminal charge of assault, but also the criminal charge of an undertaking, but also a failure to appear. That was the 3rd criminal charge. So I had a scheduled hearing within about a month, and that's how it was that day. Now, the next thing that happened in this series is I was arrested for breach of undertaking by the Fredericton Police Force. I was held in custody for 2 days and finally released, signing a new undertaking with even more conditions that even more severely restrict my freedom. Now, for that hearing, I went in facing 4 criminal charges. And I'll go over those criminal charges. One criminal charge was assault, the second one was undertaking, the third was failure to appear, and the fourth was breach of an undertaking. When I arrived, somehow it was decided that they dropped the failure to appear criminal charge. I was attempting to address the matter, and everyone there, the judge, the Crown Counsel, just decided they didn't know anything about it. And though the court would not confirm directly that there was no criminal charge of failure to appear, I was told basically if it's not before me, you can consider it basically gone. Now it was an evasive answer. I'm not happy about that, but then I was dealing with 3 criminal charges: breach of an undertaking, and assault. Now what was interesting is I still wasn't given disclosure yet regarding those matters, so the judge at that time ordered full disclosure and set a new court date. Now keep in mind that I had yet to even have a hearing where I'm entitled to defend myself against the Neil and Trina Rogers' allegations that there's even an undertaking that's necessary in the first place. And again, the assault charges are unproven yet. These are just allegations that have turned into criminal charges. From the beginning to end, the whole procedure has been backwards, sideways, and not according to the Criminal Code of Canada, which is everyone has a right to equality under the law in Canada. And we have the Charter of Rights and Freedoms that are supposed to protect our rights. And in this case, my rights have been violated all the way along the way. The Fredericton Police Force have not followed proper procedure. The Crown has not followed proper procedure. The courts have not followed proper procedure. Yet I've been dragged into court, arrested multiple times, and held in custody for 2 days. I was even held in St. John Correctional Facility over this matter. And all of it is dealing with stemming from the assault and the assault charge and the breach of the undertaking, which should not have even happened in the way that it did. Alright, that's all for now. Thank you for listening. It's Justice Done Dirt Cheap, just trying to give a brief history of what's happened to date regarding these criminal charges. This is the first time I've ever been charged with anything criminal in Canada. I have a fully clean criminal record. I have the documentation from the Fredericton Police Force to prove that I have never been charged with anything until this time. And so far, it's just been one wrong procedure and practice after another. And I am completely unsatisfied with the performance of the Fredericton Police Force, Crown Prosecution Service, and the courts in Fredericton. Thank you for listening. I'll keep you updated regarding these unfounded, untrue, frivolous, and vexatious criminal charges against me. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. This is Justice Done Dirt Cheap in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada.